We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you is Thursday, February 5th here in Seoul. I'm Isujin and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Moonju.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday also. Fabio's with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So as we head towards the latter part of the work week, fatigue tends to creep in. And for many of us, that's when cooking becomes the last thing on our minds. Instead, we reach for our phones and scroll through delivery apps looking for something quick, comforting, and familiar. So, Moonju, let me ask you, what's the last delivery food you ordered, and what's that one delivery food item that you tend to go back to?
Oh, the easiest question I've ever received from New Generation. Okay, the last delivery I ordered was omurice. It was very good, by the way. And you know, when I can't decide what to eat, I'm Korean, I often turn to chickens, but it's very hard to choose what type of chicken that I want to have. You know, there's so many brands and so many seasonings and spices that I really love, so it's very hard, but yes, chicken.
Right, chicken I feel like is definitely a guilty pleasure.
Oh, yes.
So what about you, Fabio?
Well, delivery food is almost unavoidable in the fast-paced life of Seoul. And to be honest, there's a lot of temptations, a lot of options that are not very healthy for everyday life. So these days, I'm trying to experiment a little bit more with healthy options like salads, bossam with kimchi, or even seafood nureungji-tang, nureungji stew, which I really recommend.
Okay, I've never actually heard about that, so I will check that out soon.
Yes.
So what you said really reflects the reality of life in Seoul. Busy schedules make convenience hard to avoid. It's interesting how people are now trying to balance convenience with healthier choices. So we're going to talk more about this, but first, let's take a look at the screen. While fried chicken isn't a dish traditionally associated with Korea, the countless variations from its signature crunch to bold flavors have transformed it into a global phenomenon. And it's now gaining popularity even in countries with long-standing fried chicken traditions of their own, with the unique ways it's enjoyed in Korea also sparking curiosity overseas. Today on News Generation, we take a closer look at just how popular Korean fried chicken has become around the world, what makes it stand out, and our own tips on how to properly enjoy Korean-style chicken. As we just saw in the video, Korean fried chicken has evolved into far more than a comfort food. It's become a global favorite. And that growing popularity is now clearly reflected in overseas consumption data and also business expansion. So, Moonja, how popular really is Korean chicken overseas?
Oh, it is very popular, you know. According to the 2025 Overseas Korean Food Survey Consumer, K-chicken is the most popular Korean food abroad and consumed more often than traditional dishes like kimchi or bibimbap, which is very surprising. And Korean chicken franchises are aggressively expanding overseas. For instance, Franchise B now operates more than 700 stores in 57 countries, including Canada, Chinese Taipei, Vietnam, and with about 250 locations in the United States. So if you take a look at our screen here, overseas sales have risen very continuously. 110 billion won in 2023, 150 billion won in 2025, and the last year's figure is projected to reach around 200 billion Korean won. And also a personal note, I've seen foreigners' enthusiasm for this brand firsthand. While I was living in the States during my college years, there was this store nearby my place. It was always busy with many foreign customers, and especially most of them were Americans, which is very surprising. There were more Koreans than Americans, I mean the other way, more Americans than Koreans. It was very surprising to experience those kind of like sights, yeah.
I also think it's quite interesting that Korean chicken is outperforming even classic Korean dishes like kimchi. And beyond the numbers, this trend is also visible in everyday food culture abroad. So Fabio, you're from Spain, so as our Europe correspondent, would you say Korean chicken is commonly found in Europe as well?
Oh yes, Korean chicken restaurants are becoming more and more common in Europe these days. And Korean chicken has always been the top selling dish at most Korean restaurants abroad, which by the way usually offer this kind of like mashup of traditional and street food street foods from Korea at the same time in different countries. And so we are slowly seeing these places become more specific and offering menus that solely sell K-barbecue or K-chicken. Social media obviously also plays a big part, but even the recognition of top-tier European chefs has also elevated the status and giving this recognition of Korean chicken. We see, for example, as we see in the screen, Spanish bars that also offer this type of menus. So I went with a Korean friend to a Spanish bar and I was like, are you sure they sell Korean chicken at this place? And apparently they had a completely different menu that was solely in Korean that caters to those people that want to taste the Korean chicken. That's because they probably had a Korean cook back in the days and both the workers and the customers fell in love with it and now they serve it as just a regular menu. Even big franchises like KFC offer Squid Game burgers, which is obviously just like a Squid Game reinterpretation of the Korean style chicken burger. And so we see lots of examples like this, and as you have seen in the images right now, I also tend to order delivery chicken here in Korea, and people like my sister or friends that have visited me from abroad while I live in Korea, they always try to tell me to order chicken while they visit because it's kind of like a cultural course at this point. I think social media also plays a very big part in this whole scope.
I have to say, this is all the more impressive because it's been a year since I visited Barcelona, and I still can't stop talking about how great the food is there. So it's really impressive that Korean chicken is making a mark with the locals there as well. So all this shows how Korean chicken has blended also naturally into local food scenes. This global success seems closely tied to what makes, I guess, Korean chicken unique. So what exactly then sets Korean chicken apart from what we find overseas?
It's gonna take a while, but yeah. Anyways, since you know fried chickens are everywhere, there should be something really distinguishes Korean chicken from the other ones, and I think it is the relatively extra thin and the crispy batter, as well as bold seasonings such as like honey butters, cheese powders, or sweet and/or spicy flavors.
I agree. I feel like the variety really explains why people don't get tired of it. And that diversity is also reflected in how Koreans enjoy chicken in daily life. So when and how do Koreans usually eat chicken as a local? Please share with our audience.
Oh yeah, basically any moment with beers, I guess. While I don't often do that just because I'm not an alcohol person, I don't often drink alcohols. But I think most people would agree that the beer and chicken are the perfect pair, probably one of the best beer in Korea. Anyways, Koreans just love chicken and the numbers show it. As of 2019, 87,000 chicken restaurants are operating here in South Korea, roughly one store per 600 Koreans. Making it more in perspective, there are about twice as many chicken stores in Korea as McDonald's locations worldwide. This is very surprising. Koreans especially crave chicken while watching sports such as national soccer or baseball games. And on match days, you have to order at least 1 or 2 hours ahead. If not, you may not get your food on time. Also, lastly, almost every baseball and soccer stadium sells chicken.
I guess that kind of explains how in Korea, one of the common phrases said it's, I'm just going to open a chicken shop.
Yeah.
That's how common it is.
Probably I should try one.
So these figures show how chicken isn't just food here. It's also part of everyday culture. And that culture has even developed its own vocabulary and also traditions. So Fabio, what surprised you most about Korea's, I guess, chicken culture?
Well, first, the texture and flavor. You see, with Korean chicken, you have this very paper thin crisp, and that is usually achieved by double frying it and using potato or cornstarch instead of just regular flour, which makes the crisp quite different. We also have, for example, 닭강정 or 양념치kin. And with this type of dishes, they also really appeal to Western palates. And that is because people from other countries are already used to having chicken with the sweetness of honey sauce or maybe the spiciness of chili sauce or jalapenos. So it really works and they get adapted to it very naturally. But outside of the flavor and the texture, we also have the culture behind it. As Moonja just mentioned, you always pair chicken with beer in Korea, and that's how you get chimek. So chimek is the mixing of the words chicken and 맥주, which is beer in Korean. When you go to a pub in Korea, most of the time when they only sell alcoholic drinks, they also have a menu for Korean chicken, even if they're not a specific chicken place. And also in the city of Daegu, they have an annual summer festival for chimek only. And for those that really love alcohol, you can also substitute chimek for chiso, which is chicken and soju. And then for the more spicy or sticky type of chicken, you can also pair it with pap. What is pap?
Rice?
Rice, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how you get chibab. So as you can see, chicken is very, very versatile. You can really pair it with lots of different types of ingredients, and that's how you create this type of cultures, this cultural phenomena that becomes so representative of South Korea.
So all the examples you told us shows how chicken in Korea isn't just food. It's become part of a shared and very evolved social culture. And that kind of naming and ritual really says a lot about how deeply chicken is woven into everyday life. So we also wanted to hear directly from our viewers. So we ran a poll on the Arirang News YouTube channel asking what's your favorite type of Korean fried chicken. So here's what the results showed. Nearly half of respondents chose seasoned chicken, making it the clear favorite at 48%. Spicy chicken followed with 25%, showing strong support for bold flavors, while honey butter chicken came in at 18%. Cheese seasoned chicken ranked last at 9%. So the results show that classic flavors still hold strong even as new varieties gain traction. So it looks like people still come back to the basics no matter how many new flavors appear. And to also gain a more global perspective on this, we're going to talk to a young person from India who counts Korean-style chicken as one of her favorite foods. That conversation will take place right after the break, so don't go anywhere.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out Channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Monta from India, who's a fan of Korean chicken. So hello, thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hi.
Hi.
It's really good to be back again. Good morning.
Good morning, good to have you back. So Monta,
Yeah.
what was your first reaction when you first tried Korean chicken? How did you end up trying in the first place?
Oh my God. First of all, I'm a huge chicken lover. So I still clearly remember the first time I tried Korean fried chicken. The first time I arrived in Korea, it was Kyochon chicken. I don't know if I can mention the name. So it was the Kyochon banban chicken, the original fried chicken, and the soy garlic sauce marinated one. And honestly, I was shocked. I mean, it was the best fried chicken I've ever had in my life. Oh my God.
Wow.
And then after that, I just couldn't stop thinking about all the other like thousands of options that we have in here. It was my dream to try each and every like versions of the fried chickens since I was there in India, and my dream was like coming true. And yeah, I just couldn't stop thinking about all the other options. Yeah, too huge thing for me.
Yeah, dream has came true. Congratulations. India also has fried chicken, right? And based on
Yeah.
your opinion, how do you think it's different from Korean chicken and the Indian chicken?
Yeah, definitely. India also has a lot of like varieties of fried chicken, and mostly Indian fried chickens are mostly based on masala, which is the aromatic Indian spices, which is quite bold in spice and full of flavor. Well, and the texture would be a little bit thicker than that of the Korean ones. So you can have different, and in India we have this South Indian styled fried chicken, which is quite popular all around India. And one of the most popular again fried chicken is the KFC. Yeah, we like everyone, every chicken lover would have it. And yeah, but the thing is that it's all about the flavor and soy sauces and textures and the variations. Yeah, but the variety in Korea is on another level, trust me.
And how popular is K food or specifically K chicken, in this case, in India? And what is your personal favorite style?
Korean fried chicken is actually quite popular in India, especially among K-drama and K-pop fans. Yeah, because you can see the Korean fried chicken in almost every K-drama, especially 닭강정 and the 양념 fried chicken, the soy sauce marinated one. And I like personally love the the original 닭강정 and the uh 옛날 what was that? 옛날 통닭. I forgot the name. Yeah, the old one. It would be my like favorite, and I just love the old style Korean whole fried chicken, especially with the fried chicken gizzards, and this cheese ball on the side. And yeah, after a long, tiring day, this combination would be a pure happiness and the best way to relieve your stress. So yeah, my favorite one would be the old styled Korean fried chicken.
I mean, hearing you describe all the different types of chicken is making my mouth water.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what an expert.
That's right.
Oh my
I guess
God.
classic chicken is the way to go. So, right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us today, Mata.
Thank you so much.
So we just heard from a guest from India how chicken there differs from Korea, how popular Korean style chicken is there, and which flavors stand out to her personally. And that global popularity has also pushed Korean chicken brands to adopt a wide range of overseas strategies. So what kind of strategies are Korean brands using, Minju?
Yeah, while preserving the crisp texture and, signature seasonings, Korean chicken brands are localizing to win a larger audiences. In Southeast Asia, for example, they adapt to local tastes by serving rice with chicken and offering fried cartilage, skin, and other favorite bites as side dishes. And also, I think the French, as we talked about earlier, right, has different recipes on American ones. But don't quote me on this. It might be just my hunch, right? But I think I felt like the sauces were more more sweetened and less spicy, and they always had the sauce on the sides for those who really want to just enjoy the traditional fried chicken. So I think that was very interesting.
Right, I think there are different options now, so it's more accommodating.
Yeah.
So all this shows how flexible Korean chicken can be without losing its identity. And some brands are also leaning heavily into Korean pop culture to connect with global fans. And Monty kind of mentioned this earlier. So how are companies using pop culture to promote chicken abroad, Fabian?
Well, it's all about the branding. You see, in Korea, they use cute characters, K-pop idols, and also actors to be the official ambassadors of this chicken brands. And usually you see this commercial films where they appear, and most of the time they also appear in the packaging itself.
Right.
And I'm slowly seeing how in the West, big fast food companies are also trying to adapt to this branding system, often delivering this type of menus that are inspired and promoted by celebrities. So it's kind of becoming similar in that sense. At the same time, chicken, as we talked about, is very linked to cultural moments. That's when we create the culture of chimek, for example. And so I do feel like chicken shops in other places all around the world are trying to imitate the experience providing system. And so when they do Korean chicken, for example, they try to decorate the place like it's a K-drama. Or if it's just like, for example, the US style chicken, they try to make the experience of ordering chicken at a place or ordering it online very similar to what people are used to enjoying maybe through social media. And that's because social media has played a very big part in this whole scope. We have lots of creators from all around the world visiting Korea and trying delivery chicken and just 양념치킨, 닭강정, all of these different types, showing it to a broader audience. And so people are becoming familiar with it, but they're having this desire of wanting to experience it too in their own countries. Companies are very aware of this, and they're trying to copy some of these strategies so that they can also implement it in different type of contexts.
I think it's really a clever marketing strategy because, like you said, it gives customers they can be immersed in a whole experience, enjoy the food, and also have an experience as well. So beyond marketing and strategy, there's also a question of how to enjoy Korean chicken the best. And since you said in your intro that you like ordering chicken, what is the best way to have Korean chicken?
Well, first, second, third, and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, the best way, I think, is chibap. As Fabio just mentioned earlier. And here's a quick recipe for our viewers. First, shred leftover chickens and spoon it over warm rice. It has to be warm rice. And then heat it once again in the microwave. And for the extra flavors, drizzle with mayonnaise and remaining chicken sauce. This is a key point. Remaining chicken sauce has to be drizzled on the rice. And be careful, you might gain a little or a lot of weight. So yeah.
And it's also a good tip for people who live alone because it's a way to take care of your leftovers as well.
Yeah.
For many people though, chicken isn't just as much about the atmosphere, the vibe, the experience as much as the food itself. So how else have you noticed Koreans enjoying chicken?
It's all about how you pair it. So we have chimek, we have chiso, we have chibap, all of these different pairings. But it always comes with white pickled radish. And usually when you get delivery, it comes for free in Korea. So if you come to Korea, definitely try it because the white radish kind of cleanses the palate. It takes out that kind of like spicy and intense flavor. And at the same time, chicken is just very comfortable and shareable as food. So when you're on the go or when you're having like a casual hangout at a park or at your own home and you don't really have the utensils, chicken is the perfect dish to order because it's very easy to eat. And I think that is pretty much the real charisma of having chicken in the Korean way.
And you can pretty much order it anywhere. That's
Yes.
also a plus. So from Seoul to cities around the world, Korean fried chicken is winning over new audiences. By blending signature crunch with local taste and pop culture, it has built a truly global presence. It's a clear example of how Korean food continues to travel and evolve. And as it continues to adapt overseas, one thing is quite clear: Korean chicken is here to stay in people's delivery apps. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. But News Gen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time with more stories and discussions. A big thanks to Moonju.
Thanks for having me today.
Thanks for coming in. Also Fabio.
Thank you so much.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you get to end the day with an extra crunch. We are
News Generation.